Aaron Katersky covering the Tracy Morgan saga. Aaron Katersky, good morning. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, McGraw. Good morning.
First, let's start with his condition. What are they saying about Tracy Morgan now?
Critical but stable. And the statement from his publicist late yesterday was the first indication that he is, in fact, going to make it. The publicist mentioned a recovery, although one that he called arduous, following the injuries sustained in that car crash early Saturday morning when the limo van he and his entourage were riding in was hit by that Walmart tractor trailer. The driver of the tractor trailer, Kevin Roper, 35 years old, of Georgia, was apparently, according to prosecutors, awake for the previous 24 hours or more in seeming violation of federal work rules and also just good sense.
So now, was he acting on his own? Do we know if this is some type of unwritten policy in Walmart? Do they, nudge, nudge, wink, wink? You need to get there by sundown. We don't care how you do it. What do we know about this?
Walmart says that their driver was working within the federal guidelines, which say that a driver can drive no more than 11 hours in a 14-hour workday. So Walmart believes that Kevin Roper was operating within those guidelines. So why he hadn't slept for 24 hours, we don't know. He's due in court on Wednesday, so maybe prosecutors will outline a little bit more about why he was awake for so long.
You've also there's some interesting stats coming out about these Walmart trucks. What are we starting to learn about these Walmart trucks?
Well, the Walmart actually has a decent safety record, and they've been involved in about 400 crashes over the last couple of years, 9 fatalities in those. But Walmart also has more trucks than anybody else on the road because they're the nation's largest retailer. So the safety record isn't so bad. And we also haven't seen a good comparison as to how they stack up against other retailers that have trucks on the road. Walmart issued an earlier statement saying it would take full responsibility for the accident if, in fact, one of its drivers was found responsible, which police have now considered Kevin Roper to be responsible for the crash. He's been charged with death by auto and also causing the injuries to Tracy Morgan and 2 others.
Was there alcohol involved in any way or drugs involved in any way, shape, or form with any of the vehicles?
Not that we've heard, no.
What happened to the driver of Tracy Morgan's car?
We've spoken to him, and he said that he just couldn't get to Tracy Morgan, but he heard him screaming for help. He wasn't even sure whether the van that he was driving, the Mercedes Sprinter, kind of that tricked-out limo bus, was he didn't know if it flipped once, twice. It ended up on its side after it was smashed into by this Walmart tractor trailer that had simply been going a little too fast. The police said the driver just either didn't see the collection of traffic ahead of him, or by the time he did, it was too late. He only maneuvered at the last minute to try and avoid a collision. That's why they suspected that perhaps he fell asleep or was just fatigued to the point where he was in a daze. And now we know that he hadn't slept in the last 24 hours, according to prosecutors. One
of the people who died turns out to be Tracy Morgan's comedy writer?
Jimmy Mack is how he's known on the comedy circuit, and he's a mentor and friend of Tracy Morgan, was with him in Delaware, where Tracy Morgan was performing at a hotel and casino, and the group was on its way back to New York City in order to fly out to North Carolina for a show on Saturday. So he was part of the entourage. He was killed at the scene, and based on that and the extent of the injuries, you figure Tracy Morgan is lucky to be alive.
Yeah. Is Tracy Morgan, you said this is the first time his publicist or his people are saying that he might pull through. Is he awake? Does he know what happened? Is he answering any questions?
It's not clear that he is, and we've heard varying things about his condition. The only thing the publicist will confirm, because the hospital, citing privacy laws, won't, is that he had a broken leg and had surgery for a broken leg, but his injuries seem to be more severe than that. The recovery is going to be arduous, the publicist said, and there's no indication that he's been able to even answer questions or remembers the accident. He's been more responsive, but we're not clear what that means, than he was when he was first brought in on Saturday morning. He had been airlifted to the hospital from the accident scene.
And his fiancée is standing by at his side.
The family is there, and the family is so far not answering many more questions about the condition. There's been a lot of speculation about his condition. At one point, there were rumors of his death. I mean, all that is just kind of nonsense. But at this point, it appears he's going to pull through. He's now been stabilized, but still critical.
Yeah. And the first court appearance by this Walmart trucker is when now?
That'll be tomorrow morning. And at that point, we may hear from prosecutors a little bit more about how they reached the conclusion that he had been awake for more than 24 hours. Whether he made statements, we don't know. He posted a $50,000 bail, and he was released. So he's due back in court tomorrow, and we're waiting to see from either the state police or from prosecutors how they reached the conclusions that they did. It was just a very brief criminal complaint that has been filed so far.
Aaron Katersky, ABC News, following the Tracy Morgan accident for us. Aaron, have a good day. Thanks.
Thanks, McGraw. You too.
7:28 here, Big 550, KT.